Struggling to survive your first winter in Northgard? Starving villagers, dead scouts, and a base that just won't grow? Don't worry, you're not alone. In this beginner's guide, we'll walk you through everything you should and shouldn't do on your first day, so you're not stuck restarting every match. We'll cover the best clans for beginners, early scouting and building strategies, how to avoid common mistakes, and the right way to manage your villagers, military, and economy. Let's get started. Start by choosing a beginner-friendly clan, either goat or stag. Goat focuses on a strong food economy. You start with sheep, which generate food and reduce wood usage in winter. Over time, you can even summon more sheep, incredibly useful during those early winters. Their feastability lets you spend food to temporarily boost all your villagers' productivity. Perfect before winter or big expansions. Stag, on the other hand, gives you a strong early boost. Extra food, wood, and gold at the start. You also unlock powerful bonuses as you gain fame, making them ideal for aggressive expansion or a fame-based victory. Both are well-balanced and don't rely heavily on early combat. Perfect for learning the ropes. As soon as the game starts, build a scout camp and assign 2 scouts. Right-click on unexplored tiles to make them run instead of walk. This speeds up discovery dramatically. Knowing your terrain early helps you expand efficiently and avoid wasting food on low-value tiles. One of the biggest beginner mistakes? Building too fast. Delay your first house until you're close to hitting the population cap. Found a forest tile next to your town hall with no enemies? Colonize it first, then build a woodcutter's lodge. This gives you the forest bonus right away. Don't build a training camp unless you need to clear nearby threats. Every building costs wood and gold to build, plus ongoing upkeep. And every time you construct something, you pull villagers off food duty, which slows everything down. In the early game, efficiency matters more than size. There's a hidden goldmine of info in the UI, and it can save your run. Press I to toggle tile information. This shows how many buildings a tile can hold, what resources it provides, and how many workers each building can support. Use this when planning expansions or deciding where to invest your food. Smart use of the UI equals fewer wasted villagers, less wasted time, and smoother growth. Winter is coming, and it's brutal. During winter, food production slows down across the board. Hunters, farmers, fishermen, even foragers will all bring in less. At the same time, wood consumption spikes as your villagers crank up the heat. That means by late summer or early fall, you should already be shifting your priorities. Start stockpiling food and wood, especially if you're planning to expand or upgrade buildings before winter hits. Both of those actions cost food and wood, and you'll need every bit of it. Your sheep are a secret weapon here. Place them on tiles with the most active villagers. Their wood reduction bonus applies to everyone on that tile. That means fewer villagers cutting wood and more on food, which makes a big difference when resources get tight. If it's clear you're going to run out of food, don't hesitate to slaughter a sheep. It's not ideal, but it's better than letting your villagers starve. Starvation tanks your happiness, production grinds to a halt, and it can take most of spring just to recover. Also, pause building projects during winter if you're low on food or wood. Construction pulls villagers off gathering jobs, which can tip you into starvation or energy loss faster than you think. And remember, colonizing new tiles also costs food, so think twice before expanding right before or during winter. The golden rule? Avoid starvation at all costs. A rough winter can set you back for the entire year. Here's a tip that sounds harsh, but absolutely works. Let your wounded villagers die to wolves in the early game. It goes against every instinct, especially if you're used to playing defensively. But in Northgard, healing is expensive. It costs a building slot for the healer's hut, a full-time villager to do the healing, and valuable time during which that wounded villager is working at reduced efficiency and short. Healing slows down your economy, and that's something you can't afford in the early game. Meanwhile, if a wounded villager dies to a wolf attack, you actually gain a small happiness boost. Yes, really. That's because Northgard penalizes you more for wounded villagers than for dead ones. And here's the key. You can quickly train a new, fully healthy villager. often in less time than it would take to heal the injured one. This approach is especially effective in the early game. When your food economy is fragile, unit efficiency matters, and every villager needs to pull their weight. So if you're clearing a nearby wolf tile and a villager takes a hit, don't rush to heal them. Instead, let nature take its course and rebuild with stronger, healthier workers. It's tough love, but in Northgard, efficiency is survival. Let's talk about defensive towers and why you almost never need them, especially as a beginner. On paper, towers seem like a smart idea. They protect your tiles and help you hold territory, right? But here's the problem. They're a massive resource sink. They cost wood and gold to build, and then they keep draining your economy with upkeep. Every season, every game tick. That's gold and wood you could be spending on expansion, upgrades, or your military. Worse yet, they give a false sense of security. Wolves and other threats, like Draugr, kobolds, or foxes, always target the weakest, undefended adjacent tile. So unless you're building towers everywhere, you're still exposed. And building towers on every tile, that's wildly inefficient and completely unsustainable. And here's the kicker. Most early threats are manageable with just a few military units. And clearing nearby wolf or fox tiles removes the threat entirely. Instead of wasting resources on static defenses, put that wood and gold into scouting early, expanding wisely, and stationing your military near high-risk areas. If you absolutely must build a tower, say to defend a key choke point or victory condition, do it later in the game, when your economy is strong enough to support it. But most of the time, skip the towers. A common beginner trap, idle military units just standing around. They may look cool, but they're secretly bleeding your economy. Military units don't gather resources, but they still consume food and use up wood to stay warm during winter. That means every idle soldier is a slow drain on your production. And over time, that adds up fast. Instead, give them a job. Clear nearby wolf or fox tiles, especially the ones adjacent to your borders. These tiles are dangerous because they can spawn enemies that randomly attack your territory. Once you clear them, they're safe unless they're a wolf den or fox burrow, in which case they'll respawn and need to be handled again later. After a fight, take stock. If your military units are wounded and there are no nearby threats left, don't waste time and resources healing them. Let them die. It's cold, but it's efficient. But if they're still healthy, reassign them back to civilian life. Just click the unit and turn them into a villager. Now they can gather food, cut wood, or work a building, giving your economy a direct boost. That's everything you need to survive your first winter in Northgard. And more importantly, start thriving. Focus on smart, deliberate expansions, make every villager count, and avoid the early game economic traps that slow so many new players down. Efficiency is everything, not speed, not size. If you can build a stable economy and avoid major setbacks in your first year, you'll be in a strong position to push for fame, trade, or even domination later on. Thanks for watching. And remember, in Northgard, patience and planning beat panic every time. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more beginner guides, and drop a comment with what tripped you up in your first game, or which game you would like me to cover next. Thanks for watching, and have fun out there.